The answer to the question is, it really is just taking this car that is a racing car and the passion of this car onwards. And Hugh, I think, will live in this car forever. Again, a bit emotional, but you know, he would have wanted it to be a racing car. He would not want this to sit in someone's collection and restore to mint condition.
Recently, we sat down with Roy Parrish, the proud new owner of a truly historic machine, the Jaguar XK120 OTS that once belonged to Le Mans Hall of Famer, the late Hugh Chamberlain. This isn't just any car, it was a very spark that ignited Chamberlain engineering and cherished by Hugh for over 6 decades. Now, as work begins in the Hilton & Moss workshop to prepare the car for the legendary Miglia, Roy shares his next chapter in this remarkable legacy.
Right, so the great late Hugh Chamberlain. I first met Hugh, oddly enough, in a pub, the Brewery Tap in Furnix Pelham. So the Pelhams locally here in Hertfordshire. A very straight talking, no nonsense man, which I really like. Doesn't suffer fools easily, real character. And we started talking about cars. I've done karting, tried out a bit of GT4 racing with Pro Drive Aston Martin, but always too busy, and obviously it's quite expensive. And as I got to know Hugh, obviously Hugh's always been around the racing scene pretty much most of his life. You know, won Le Mans, which I've been to many times. He's been a team boss at many other places, endurance racing, and just his love of cars, engineering, and anything that goes fast. So quickly became quite good friends, and we started talking about racing. So Hugh obviously showed me this wonderful car of his, and you know, the look on his face was amazing when he saw it. You saw a change in his face about how much he loved this car, and he had, my word, he had so many bits of machinery and old lawnmowers in his many sheds, but this was his pride and joy that was all covered up, which he raced, and unfortunately passed away last year, and I managed to get it to his funeral, which is amazing. And I know then his wife Small sold it to Hilton & Moss, which is great because they're going to look after it, and they have done. And from knowing Hugh for as long as I did, I've got some great stories which I can go into about going to Le Mans when he's been working for Eurosports and getting us into the pits, and talking to a lot of the drivers and in Parc Fermé, to taking him to look at some cars at Ligier when we're trying to get a LMP2 and LMP3 car for entering Le Mans, but again, it's millions of pounds to do that. So we quite quickly decided that we weren't going to be able to do it. I've been to Silverstone with him, the BDRC, which he was a huge influence there, and a well-known figure. You know, he was just all-round a good guy, and I think, you know, the passing of Hugh, I think, you know, marked the passing of a very great man in motorsport, which he should have probably been credited more in the UK for that, you know, and it's quite emotional talking about him and this car, actually. So looking at it, I know his wife Small would love to see this car again. Hopefully we will do a sneak up on her when we get it fully running and race prepared for what we're going to do with the car, which is the Miglia.
So it must be quite an honour to be able to take his legacy and kind of continue.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, this is not my car. This is Hugh's car, and well, it will become my car, but I'm still going to be just a guardian of this car. So, yeah, and hopefully be able to give it many more years of racing and looking amazing. We haven't done a full refurb on the paintwork like some of the others here, because we feel this is how it was taken from Hugh, and how we should keep it for the races coming up. A little bit beaten, a little bit worn, but very true to itself. And I think you're going to see some great videos of this car being taken apart, put back together, taken apart, and put back together again. So it's going to be really exciting to see that, and especially if you're a petrol head, which I think most of us watching this probably will be. So yeah.
What made you fall in love with the car, or is it the connection with Hugh?
Do you know what? Oddly, I think it's probably a bit of both, but I think it is a connection with Hugh, and I think towards the end of Hugh's days, he really wanted to get a team together. I mean, he did speak about racing this, but I could see he really didn't want anyone racing that car. That was Hugh's car. only Hugh raced that car. So, you know, we did speak about it, but it's never going to happen. So the opportunity now to be able to take that legacy on, working with Hilton and Moss and the new team you've got going here, which is, again, something I'm sure we'll talk about, is amazing, because we can properly race this car and have a good team to back up and make it work really well. So, and obviously, we are now getting it classified for the Miglia, which again has not been easy, and a lot of work's gone in from Hilton and Moss on this. And I really appreciate that, because you know, it's not easy to do that. And again, I'm sure Hilton Moss will be able to talk about Miglia a bit more later on this year, especially when we've done the race, which is only in June this year. So it's April now, so it's getting there. But we've been working on this project, since Christmas, I believe, roughly, because I store my cars here. And again, it was quite bizarre. I came to Hilton Moss for a car event, talking about this.
Oh, what's that? You have.
It's a great facility here to do that. And I was talking about, actually, the Austin Healey behind us, about, is it a Miglia car? And I knew Hugh's car was here, and I asked, does Hugh's car qualify? And they said, oh, funnily enough, we're going to get it qualified for the Miglia. So the rest really is history. Yeah, the answer to the question is, it really is just taking this car that is a racing car and the passion of this car onwards. And Hugh, I think, will live in this car forever. Again, a bit emotional, but you know, he would have wanted it to be a racing car. He would not want this to sit in someone's collection and restore to mint condition, because then I think it would have lost that bit about it. So I think leaving it as we have, and we will leave it as it mostly is, touch up a little bit, but mechanically it's fantastic. It's a straight car. It's a really good car, and we're going to keep adding to it to keep making it better. Yeah.
Right, so you're now, as you said, 3 months away from joining the Miglia.
Yes.
This is it's one of your first outings of this level, if not the first outing.
It is, and my co-pilot in this and joint driver is Ross Leach, who's a very good friend of mine, and I think he'll be videoed at some stage as well. He knows Hugh. He's met Hugh as well. We've done some. We're all part of trying to get the race team together. He has done the Miglia before himself. He's a rally driver. His wife's a rally driver. So he's got some really good experience for us to bring into the team here. So yeah, I mean, I think that's where we're going to go. Yeah.
And why the Miglia? You know, there's
I mean, the Miglia. So it's the last sort of race where you can literally, the Italians are mad car fans. Lots of waving arms around. It's not meant to be a race, but it can be a race. That's why it's time trialled. But you're driving on streets. You're driving through different conditions. There's no real safety sides of it as there would be now on any sort of track or meet. So it's raw racing in my point of view. The police give you escorts to drive as fast as you can through red lights, up on pavements, down cobbled streets. To me, it's the last real race that you can do that is, you know, a proper race that's properly done. And also, you know, it's difficult. You know, the Miglia is not an easy race. I mean, it breaks a lot of cars, it breaks a lot of people. It is a proper race, and this car, again, if we enter and play somewhere, it's really going to put this car on the map. And also, what we're trying to do is here at Hilton and Moss and the race teams, we're trying to do. When I do my own things with cars and wacky races, I do my own charities through racing, which people love. You know, it's proper petrol heads. People are getting more involved in real cars because the onset of electric cars and the way it's all going with safety and everything these days, you don't get any driving experience. I think driving at a level now is very expensive, unless you're just going into a smaller series. So I think the Miglia is the race for any petrol head. It's got to be the mecca, really, to do. So yeah, that's why, in a roundabout sort of way. The whole appeal for me is being here with Hilton and Moss as the backup support team to us. They're taking it very seriously about going racing now. And for me to be able to leave the car here, have the team, turn up and drive almost, is a real appeal. And the money's not as expensive as people think it is. Yes, it's been a big commitment for me. I'm not going to lie, it has. But I know this car's going to add value the more it goes racing. Because in the world of classic car racing, That's what happens. And if you ever get placed and win, the car goes up tremendously. So that is our goal, to start winning races, not just Miglia, but others elsewhere. The Goodwoods especially. I think that's a really good place to go racing, and it's well marshalled, it's safe, and do the fast stuff on the track, not on the roads.
You actually haven't been in the driver's seat?
No. I've been in this car once with Hugh when we got it started, because it was undercover probably 3 years ago now. So I've not ever raced this particular car. I've never actually raced a Jag of this type either. So yeah, it's going to be an experience to get into a car like this. I've raced many other cars. I've been in Ligier LMP 2 cars. I've been in GT 3s and 4s. I've driven lots of supercars on roads, but driving these around is a very, very different experience than driving a modern day car.
Any final comments you want to give to the people watching to your...
Look, you know, I think there's going to be a good few events coming up here that you can see this car, especially after June when the Miglia is. I think it'd be interesting to come down and probably watch the video that we're going to put together afterwards, and just get involved. If you've got any sort of inkling about racing and or buying cars or renting cars to race in, I think, you know, it's a good time to do it. And hopefully we're going to start trailblazing this with the team at Hillsford and Moss. That'd be brilliant. Yeah.
Roy, thank you very much for your time.
Welcome.
We really look forward to seeing how you get on in the Miglia and where the car continues.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Cheers.